Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, the death of a protester who was hit last week during a late-night demonstration sparks more outrage in the community. Calls for justice and conflicting details pepper social media. We break down what we know happened that night.
A confrontation between a mom and her young daughter and another woman caught on camera near a protest in Rosedale goes viral. We'll show you why.
In a bizarre series of events ends in a deadly shooting when a man allegedly trying to carjack drivers on Highway 99 picks up the wrong vehicle. That story on this Monday, June 8th, 2020. Good morning and thanks for joining us. It's 5 a.m. I'm Nicole Gitsky in for Alex Fisher.
And I'm Maddie Jansen here in studio with Kevin Charette. And good Monday morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. A windy weekend up in the mountains, Kev. I could not believe the wind gusts we saw yesterday in the Tehachapi area, and much cooler than we would expect for this time of June.
Yeah, we were breezy here in the valley as well. My pool's a mess. The lemons have fallen out of the trees. So the gardener's going to have a fun job later on today. But the winds are starting to relax, at least here in the valley. We're still going to keep a little bit of a breeze in place into the Kern County Mountains as we go throughout the day, but it was definitely cooler. Look at the high, 76 degrees in Bakersfield. Normally, again, we should be right around 89 this time of year. Our record temperature 109, so we were far from any type of record for the valley. And we've got a little bit of cloud cover showing up on our satellite into the mountain locations, just a thin layer. That'll give way to sunny skies as we progress throughout the day. 51 in Bakersfield at this time with a north wind at 5. Here's a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, and we'll start out in those 50s. And then this afternoon, we're going to be in the upper 70s. As we take a look at the mountain forecast, 37 degrees. A chilly start out of Tehachapi with that west wind at 6. And right now, a light breeze over the Grapevine. That's the strongest of the winds. And as we take a look at the mountain forecast for today, starting out right near 41, and then we'll look at the upper 60s throughout the afternoon. By 3 o'clock, we'll look for that north wind right around 9. We'll talk more about your forecast coming up, but first, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Kev. 5:02 is your time now. Our coverage of local protests continues in just a moment, but we begin with a deadly shooting in Rosamond. According to KCSO, it happened after 9:30 last night in an apartment on Center Street. Deputies found a man in his 40s who'd been shot. He was later pronounced dead. KCSO says they do not have a lot of information about the suspect. They stayed on scene overnight investigating. Anyone with information can call KCSO at 861-3110. This weekend, the protester hit by a car last week passed away from his wounds. His death has prompted a flurry of comments on social media, a lot of anger, and a lot of conflicting information. 17th Aton Wallace has been reconstructing the incident and has this report.
Yeah, this is where it all took place. It happened on Wednesday night. There had been hours of protests in front of Bakersfield Police Headquarters downtown, and then at about 10:23 p.m., roughly 3 dozen demonstrators marched westward on California Avenue towards Oak Street, and we want to warn you, some of these images may be disturbing. This was 55-year-old Robert Forbes. He was critically injured Wednesday night, just moments after he was struck by a vehicle. Saturday, he succumbed to his injuries. There is a lot of conflicting information about how he got hurt. Here's what we know for sure. It was 10:23 and dark when about 35 demonstrators marched from downtown past Bakersfield High School, heading west on California Avenue toward Oak Street. California Avenue is 2 lanes in each direction in this area. This video shows the protesters filled all westbound lanes. The video shows Forbes, represented by the green arrow in this map, was not part of the main group. He was across California Avenue on the south side of the street, approximately 200 feet east of Oak Street. At one point, as represented by the green arrow on the map, it appears Forbes and a couple of other people attempted to cross the 2 eastbound lanes of California Avenue, perhaps to join the main group marching in the westbound lanes. Several other people made it safely across the street, but Forbes was struck by a car traveling east, as represented by the blue arrows. Police say the car was in the fast lane. BPD adds Forbes crossed the slow lane and was hit by the right side of the car. Witnesses told police Forbes was crossing the street. He was not kneeling in the road, as some social media posts have said, and BPD says this video shows the car that hit Forbes did have its headlights on. There is a red light camera at Oakland, California. Video from that intersection shows the vehicle drive eastbound down California from beneath Highway 99. The video indicates the car was traveling through the intersection around the speed limit of 45 miles an hour. Once out of the intersection, the vehicle's brake lights come on just before the collision. Police say the car stopped immediately after Forbes was hit. Police say they questioned the driver when they arrived. Witnesses on scene, most of them protesters, were unhappy the driver was not immediately arrested and was permitted to smoke a cigarette. BPD says they conducted 2 interviews with the driver and thus far have not found speed, alcohol, or drugs to be a factor in this incident. BPD declined to release the name of the driver, noting he has not officially been charged with a crime. A lot of this investigation is going to depend on videos shot by people in the area. If you have any information, you are asked to call Chad Ott with the Bakersfield Police Department at 661-326-3967. Reporting in Central Bakersfield, Eitan Wallace, 17 News.
Now, video of what looks like a woman verbally attacking an 8-year-old and her mom near Friday's protest in Northwest Bakersfield has gone viral on social media. 17's Amber Frias spoke to the mother and joins us with what she has to say.
Erica Bays did not want to go on camera to limit trauma to her daughter, but she did tell us what happened.
911. You need to get your wife. My daughter. Do not steal my daughter.
A terrifying experience for an 8-year-old girl.
Okay.
In the video recorded by her mother, you hear the little girl sobbing in fear.
Good job. I haven't. Really?
As the video continues, you hear her inconsolably telling her mother she's scared.
Look at this. Are you proud? She's not killing anyone, babe.
The video was recorded Friday afternoon as Erica Bays and her daughter headed home after a Black Lives Matter protest in Northwest Bakersfield. Bays, who is white, has been participating in BLM demonstrations since Friday. She says her daughter has to come along every day, so she finally decided to take her. Together, they made this sign. On one side, it read, "Silence equals violence," and on the other, "No justice, no peace." The protest began around 6 p.m. One group protesting the death of George Floyd and police brutality was met by counter-protesters carrying American flags and Make America Great Again flags on opposite corners at Callaway Drive and Hageman Road. About an hour into the demonstration, Bays decided it was time to head home.
911. You need to get.
She says they were walking back to their car when they were confronted by this woman. Bays said the woman told her they weren't welcome in the area and that she was going to call the police. The mother says the woman tried to get violent, so she started recording video. At one point, the woman says, "I will effing kill you."
Okay.
Before her shirtless husband drags her away.
Do you see what you did to a child?
We tried contacting the woman in the video for comment, but were unable to reach her. Erica Bays says her daughter is feeling a lot better since Friday. At this time, the Bakersfield Police Department is investigating the incident. From Southwest Bakersfield, Amber Frias, 17 News.
Another protest was held last night in South Bakersfield. According to BPD, a crowd of about 100 people gathered near the intersection of Ming Avenue and Weibel Road. BPD sent a release applauding organizers for taking steps to keep everyone safe.
5:08 your time now. The former police officer accused of second-degree murder for the death of George Floyd is due in court this afternoon. Derek Chauvin will appear virtually before a judge, according to jail records and a spokesperson for the Hennepin County Court. The former Minneapolis police officer is accused of kneeling on Floyd's neck for almost 9 minutes. He faces a second-degree manslaughter charge along with the murder allegation.
9 members of the Minneapolis City Council on Sunday announced they intend to defund and dismantle the city's police department. The 9 council members made the announcement at a community rally in Minneapolis. Calls by some to defund or abolish police departments have grown in the wake of Floyd's death and nationwide protests against police brutality, not just in Minneapolis, but around the country. Council President Lisa Bender said police funding would be shifted to other needs, and the City Council would discuss how to replace the current police department. And that's the subject of today's 17's Interactive poll. Today we are asking, do you agree with calls to defund police departments? You can call or text us 888-4617. Now press 1 if you agree, and 2 if you do not. You can also tweet, email, or Facebook us your comments. And once again, we'll have another look at our interactive feedback, and you can call that line at 888-4617. We'll air some of your comments and have the first results from today's poll coming up at 5:30.
A 17-year-old was shot and killed in southwest Bakersfield Saturday night. Bakersfield police say it happened in the 2600 block of Edmonton Street. Officers say they found the teen suffering gunshot wounds inside a car that had collided with a detached garage in the area. The teen was taken to a hospital where he later died. BPD says passengers were in the car but ran away from the scene. Anyone with information is asked to call BPD at 327-7111.
Now, a bizarre series of events in South Bakersfield when a burglary suspect trying to carjack vehicles on the 99 freeway targeted the wrong driver. 17's Taylor Schaub joins us live from his home in Southwest Bakersfield this morning with that story. Good morning, Taylor.
Well, good morning, Nicole. And what started as a simple carjacking turned deadly for the alleged thief as he attempted to get into a fight with the sheriff's deputy. And it all happened around 8:45 yesterday morning when the Bakersfield Police Department were called to the 3600 block of Eisenhower Avenue for what was reported to be a residential burglary. The suspect, they were told, had escaped in a stolen vehicle, but when he only got about 2 blocks down the road before crashing said vehicle, and the suspect, identified by authorities only as an adult Hispanic man, made a run for it there, hopping a fence onto the 99 freeway where he apparently attempted to stop several southbound vehicles. After failing that, he jumped over the center divider and tried to stop some of those northbound vehicles. He finally forced one car to stop, and that car, he got into a physical struggle with the driver of that car, and that car's occupant was an off-duty Kern County Sheriff's deputy, and that off-duty Kern County Sheriff's deputy shot the suspect who died on the scene. And according to the Kern County Police Department, the deputy sustained minor injuries and per their policy has been placed on administrative leave. Now since it's an ongoing investigation right now, Nicole, they are not releasing the name of that deputy. In Southwest Bakersfield, Taylor Schaub, 17 News.
All right, thank you, Taylor. Your time now is 5:12. People came together last night to remember the little girl whose life was cut short.
Dozens held a vigil last night to remember 11-year-old Layla Johnson. The vigil comes almost a week after the 5th grader drowned while vacationing with her family in Oklahoma. Family and friends gathered in front of Almondale Elementary to remember Sunshine, the little girl who brightened everyone's day through her smile. Layla was referred to as everyone's best friend. Her coach remembered the track star for her blazing fast speed, and her family remembered her for her kindness.
She was just a goofy person, athletic. Like, I just knew out of all my mama kids that she was going to be the one to be on top. Like, it's a tragedy. Like, I can't believe it.
Layla was reported missing around 4 p.m. Monday at Broken Bow Lake in southeastern Oklahoma. The family was gathered at the lake celebrating Layla's sister's graduation. At first, family members thought Layla had been abducted. Through social media, they had made a plea to the public asking to help find the 11-year-old. But the next day, they received the news no family wants to hear. Layla's body was found in the lake.
Your time now is 5:22. A body was pulled from a vehicle that was found submerged in a canal in South Bakersfield yesterday. Police and emergency crews were called to a canal off South 8th Street between Panama Lane and Berkshire Road. A body was found in the vehicle, but it's not known when the crash happened or what caused the vehicle to go off the road, crashing through a fence and into the water.
A Water District employee found the vehicle submerged. It was obvious that there was at least one body inside the vehicle. Rescue personnel responded and determined that the occupant of the vehicle, who was believed to be the driver, was deceased inside the vehicle.
Still not clear why or how the driver swerved and crashed into the canal, but officers say they're investigating.
The search continues for an inmate who escaped custody this weekend in East Bakersfield. Now, this is 42-year-old Jason Rawls. He's described as a white man, 6 feet tall, weighing about 200 pounds, and was last seen wearing a brown jumpsuit. Rawls was shackled with a waist chain, cuffed by the wrists, and had his legs shackled. As of news time, deputies are still searching for Rawls in the surrounding area. Now, if you see the suspect, you are asked not to approach him, but call 911.
Well, Ridgecrest felt another jolt from Mother Nature this weekend. A 4.3 magnitude quake struck an area about 14 miles east of Ridgecrest. The quake hit at around 9:15 a.m. Sunday. Quake data shows it hit at a depth of 2.9 kilometers. Thankfully, no immediate reports of damage.
Now at 10 a.m. today's Public Health will have another update on the coronavirus pandemic. On Sunday, Public Health reported 70 new cases. Now, according to the COVID-19 dashboard, 800 people are recovering at home. 60 are hospitalized, with 33 in the ICU as of Saturday. Now, that's according to the state health department. Over 30,000 people have been tested for COVID-19 in Kern County. Over 2,700 tests have been positive. More than 29,000 tests are negative. Little over 800 are still pending. 45 people have died and over 1,800 have now recovered.